Evan had always been fascinated by the caves that spread like veins beneath the old limestone hills outside town. He prepared carefully. A week's worth of food and water, 3 flashlights with spare batteries, a compass and chalk to mark his path. When he finally found the mouth of the cave, the air was cool, damp, and smelled faintly of stone and age. He switched on his flashlight and began to walk. The tunnel was wide enough to stand in, its walls smooth from years of dripping water. He followed a downward slope, marking every turn with a chalk arrow. Time slipped easily in the silence, his steps echoing softly, his light dancing over the jagged surfaces. After an hour, he decided it was enough for one day. He turned around, confident in his markings, and began walking back. But after another hour, he didn't reach the entrance. The walls seemed unfamiliar now. The chalk arrows he'd left behind were gone, as if the stone had swallowed them. Days passed. He rationed his food, changed flashlight batteries, and tried to keep track of time by his watch, though it had started to flicker strangely. Then, on what he thought was the 5th day, he saw movement ahead. A shadow glided just beyond the edge of his light. He froze. Then a figure stepped forward. A woman barefoot, her skin pale as chalk, her hair dark and long. Her eyes caught his light and glowed red, faint but unmistakable. He stumbled back. "Who are you?" Her voice came softly in a strange, lilting accent that didn't belong to any place he knew. "You're a lost traveler. These caves do not give up their paths easily." He stared, gripping his flashlight tight. "How long have you been here?" She tilted her head slightly. "Time doesn't move here as it does above. You have already been walking longer than you think." He shook his head. "No. It's been, a few days." Her smile was faint, almost sad. "A few for you perhaps. But for the world above." She let the sentence fade. "You are trapped, but I can show you a way out." Hope flickered in him. "I can guide you to an exit. But you must understand, you will not leave in the same time you entered." Evan frowned. What does that even mean? The caves bend time, memory, and the line between what is and what was. If you follow me, you will escape, but the world you find will not be the one you remember. She turned and began walking. The path went upward, through narrow tunnels that seemed unfamiliar even though he knew he'd passed them before. The air began to change. It was fresher, cooler. And then he saw it, light. He turned to thank her, but she was leaving. "Remember, time is not a straight path." Evan stepped out into the open air. The sky was strange, tinted with a pale, shimmering hue. The forest was gone. In its place stood structures he didn't recognize. He walked forward slowly, the world feeling alien beneath his feet.